Hey, what's going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Garage. It's Ozzy and Abner, and we're here just to chop it up like we always do. Today, we've got a great episode. And what is it about? Well, you know what? You found a home. Now what? Right? You've been hanging out. Maybe you've been writing. Now you're in the process. Maybe you've already, you're kind of in there. What do you do now? What's next? Have you reached where you need to go? Not at all. That's what we're going to be talking about today, Ozzy. What's the story? Give us a lead in with what we're going to be talking about.
Sounds good, dude. Yeah, man. So one of the challenges for a club membership is false expectation. And lack of understanding and clarity in every single phase of joining or becoming part of a motorcycle club, right? So, or a motorcycle organization, or dude, to be honest with you, or anything
Yeah.
at church, and I'm just going to use this. It is okay for you to, there is no, and there are organizations that said, hey, this is the minimum that you have to do in order to go to the next phase. There are organizations that they don't care about that. They just want to see, they want to see product, they want to see fruits, they want to see that you're doing something. There are phases. There are some stuff. There are some phases, and for the most part, in every single motorcycle organization, whether it's Christian or not, the phases are as follows. You are a friend of, meaning that you like the idea, you support a little bit of what the organization stands for. So it's a motorcycle ministry that only ride to circus, so they can purchase to clown. Well, you have a heart for clowns, right? So you become a friend of, and you start talking with someone. You have a relationship with someone within the organization, right? Then is the hanging around phase, which the hanging around phase is a beautiful one. The organization is dating you, and you are dating the organization. You're looking at the guys. You're looking how the guys are moving. You're looking how the guys they interact with others. You are paying attention. You and at that phase, man. If you leave because you don't like the group of guys that are just running that chapter, or whatever the case, something you don't like, you can leave. There is no damage. There is no, that was the process. Then it comes a little bit more of commitment, right? So when you're hanging around, you don't have any other commitment, but just to support, just to. And actually, we're going to explain those in a little bit. Uh, but then comes the prospecting period, right? Which in your organization is mentorship. So you're a mentee, and this is when you're learning. You need to learn. You need to and you're working. This is you're earning your right to be called one of them. You're right. You're earning your belonging. So. But there is always in every single organization there's the people leave, and I know you have experienced this. People leave and they say, "Hey, I'll leave with this. This is this is not for me." They have a really terrible understanding of the process. B, they have full expectation of what the process is, right? So it is awesome when you find a home. It is awesome when you find a home.
Mhm.
But now what? What do you do? What do you do? How do you move into that new home? How do you go to that territory? So that's kind of like what we're gonna be discussing here.
Yeah, I love the way that you mentioned the dating, right? And that's a lot of what we. It's like that, right? We're trying to see if we're a right fit during a lot of this process. But when you start to make the end runs and kind of step forward, definitely it looks a little bit different. And yes, the level of commitment starts to increase. And definitely, it's really important that you said something about setting your expectation and understanding what is it that you want. I think that it's very important. And this goes when you were mentioning about how this crosses, not only club life or ministry life, but this is even, it's true even with jobs, right? You get to know a company even before you start to, go through the process. And how do you do that? Well, you do your homework. You find out what the company's about. You can find out so much information about organizations, be it a church, be it whatever it is. And that's so important. So do your homework, do your due diligence. That way, you don't have to kind of reel in too much once you've been in deep, right? So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Let's
Yeah,
unpack it.
that's awesome, dude. What you're saying there, do your homework because there's I'm sure there are organizations that you do not like. You don't have to talk to them. Actually you don't know no one from that organization, but for A or Y, for X reason, you don't like that organization, or you don't like that. There are restaurants that I don't like. There are restaurants I've never been there. I cannot tell you if the food is good or bad. Um, it happens, but I have done some research, some level of research, right? So reviews are powerful, right? So there is people that will say,
Yes.
you know what, dude, I know they're okay, but they have this issue. I'm certain there are organizations, Christian even, that you won't align with them, and if you were to leave Black Sheep at some point, and you wouldn't go to those organizations for sure because you don't align with them. You're seeing them doing, you see from a distance, you see how they move, you see, and there's certain stuff, like so. But
Yeah,
listen,
I would never leave to begin with, but
but
I hear you. I get it. I get
you
it.
get
No, I get it.
you
I
get
get it. I get
examples.
it.
So,
Yeah, yeah,
and it
not for
happens the
sure.
same with churches. It happens the
Yeah,
same with churches. There are churches
all
that
the time.
you don't. Yeah, I don't even want to
That's
get close
why
to them.
that's why it's ask around. Ask around. That due diligence is always applicable to what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Due diligence
to everything.
that never ceases to work. So yeah, but
It's
let's go
important.
ahead, man. What are we talking about?
So what is so man, I'm a friend of and I'm a hang around dude. I found a group of guys that I really like them, bro. I like how they talk. They don't drink or they don't say bad words. They keep me, all of them are fitted and they just keep me, they keep me in the straight and narrow, and I'm already just working out with them. Whatever is the case, or they ride the same motorcycle that I ride. They all like trikes like I do. Everybody has a trike on
Yeah.
the club, whatever. Pick your level of affinity, if you will. What is the next thing that you do? Well, you wanna show up and support, and this is extremely important because that club is putting a lot, and I'm just gonna say in this case, club, they're putting a lot of activities and they're putting time and effort. There's some guys that are getting together in church, at church, which church we call our meetings, in our meetings, to create a program that is appealing to those that are seeking. They have an open run. They don't have to do that run. Most of it's not like they lack running or anything like that, that they're not riding. They're most definitely putting that for you. And when you don't show up to that, which is your only chance to see them once a month or twice a month or 3 times a month, when you don't show up to that, you are missing an opportunity. But not only you're missing an opportunity, you're wasting resources because that was created for you, my friend. Dear supporter, they created that for you. Dear supporter, you want to show support? Buy some gear, buy some t-shirts, dude. Represent the color. You like the club, you like the organization, start representing the colors. Start representing the colors. You cannot wear the patch, but you can represent the colors. Couple things happen with that. When you're representing the colors of that group, of that organization, you are letting the organization know, hey man, I have certain level of commitment. The level of commitment that I have been allowed to, I'm fulfilling it. So you cannot wear patches, and you're not gonna be asked to go serve at a bar, to go serve the table. But the level of commitment that you have, which is, hey man, I bought a T-shirt and I represent the colors. They see it on you. But the other stuff is that is important. It is for your safety, for your protection, because if they see that you have something that says support your local, fill the blank club in here, or support your local club, support your local, and they see you supporting the other organizations. When they see you doing that, you introduce yourself. You don't have to tell them who you are. They already know. Actually, they don't care who you are, but they already know you are with that group. They are with that organization. So if you get in trouble or something like that, it's easy to identify you. If you and to protect you at the same time. So that is the reason why we do that. So showing up consistently to events, to church. Hey man, we're gonna go for coffee. Man, show up to that. They're inviting you. It's courtesy. And man, we're gonna go to church together. We're gonna worship God together. We're gonna be here. You wanna come? Show up to that, man. It is for your own benefit. In that phase where you're allowed to support and to show up for the guys, you're going to be able to show who you are, and you're going to be able to see them in action. It is extremely important. ride with them, right? So I mean, see if you like how they ride. There are people. I remember the first organization that I was part of that was a riding club. Man, I didn't like how they ride. They ride pretty disorganized and they ride super fast. So, what do you say to that?
Yeah, it's very interesting because the way you're explaining it is it's really important that we understand when you show up, that consistency is going to give you really what you need to be able to make your decision. I love it that you say show consistency. It's to your own benefit. I mean, and again, in our organization, we don't have you know colors, right? We don't represent colors. We pretty much we're hog members, so it's pretty much it's going to be a lot of Harley Davidson stuff, whatever, right? But we do have a theme, and that theme is just it's a in our case, my case, it's a ministry. It's important that yeah, you be able to you know be appropriate with how you show up. You're not going to show up with maybe a vulgar type T-shirts because we're a ministry, right? But dressed apart, dressed within what is going to be, like you say, you know, in league, right? On the same level, right? When in Rome, do as Romans, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
you're gonna be commensurate with the group that you're trying to be a part of. But most importantly, I would highly recommend that, as you said, show up, be there to support. If they have events that you're invited to, show up, be a part of it. Every opportunity that you have to spend time is an opportunity to make your decision, to kind of say, I like what I see. I like what I'm doing. I'm doing what and they're doing, and I'm feeling it. Right? It's an opportunity. I always mention this. It's an opportunity for you to keep praying, to keep giving them the opportunity to be who they are. You be who you are, and see if it's a good fit. If you're there, you're going to know. If you're not there, you're going to assume, you're going to say, what I've seen, right, I like. But if you've seen very little, then you're setting yourself up for a surprise, right? That's like when you're seeing somebody, you've seen them maybe once or twice, you haven't seen them in a lot of settings, and all of a sudden you go out and you go to a fine dining restaurant and they're spitting all over the place or they're doing some crazy stuff and you're like, man, what's going on here? I didn't know this was like this. Well, because you lost the opportunity when there were, you didn't go. So definitely that's what you want to be. And I love that we have in the notes here,
I was
don't
about to
show
say,
up just to be seen. If you're going to be there, be present in the moment.
yeah,
Don't leave your phone at the house. Leave your,
wow,
be
come on,
present.
come on.
So many people nowadays, they're here, but they're on their phone. They're scrolling, and that's not being present. You want to make sure that if you're gonna be here now in the moment. That way, you're not gonna be able to say, "Ah, man, I really didn't notice this." No, because you weren't looking. If you're there, remember purpose. What is your purpose? If it's to find out if this organization, that organization, whatever it is, if you're not it's like, you go to an interview and you're just so worried about answering the right question the right way, you're presenting yourself maybe just to be there and kind of like fit in, but be who you are because they're going to hire you. If then you turn out to be not
That's
who
so
you
important.
say you
That's
were,
so important.
boom, you're gonna get fired. They don't have a problem saying, you know what, you're not making the cut, because they have an opportunity to say, nah, this ain't you. This isn't what we thought you were. You said that you were a team player.
That's
Now you're not
pretty
you're not
important. That's
showing
so
up.
important. If you are a jester, man, if you're a jester, you're someone that is funny, someone that can stop, someone that is an extrovert, someone that is talking all the time, and it's just you light up a room with just one joke and that kind of stuff. And man, be that guy because we want to know that guy. If you're an introvert, uh, don't go and pretend to be a car salesman. Hey, familia, don't
Yeah.
pretend to be that guy because uh, a second outing is gonna be noticeable. Clubs and organizations are looking for people that are authentic. And honestly, I can tell you that what you said about the cell phone, dude, I can't tell you how many times I have sat on a table with people that they're trying to join us, and and what they're doing, they're in the cell phone, dude. Like, man, I mean, you can be quiet. Locked in on a conversation, you can be quiet. You can be the quiet one of the conversation. So yeah, I'm sorry I interrupted you, brother. You were
No,
saying something.
it's just important that you understand you can, it's sustainable when you're genuine. If you're faking it, if you're trying to be who you're not, that's not sustainable. You're going to trip up. You're going to say, you're going to be who you really are at some point. And that's fine. That's what they need. That's what you need. Be who you are, be upfront. If you don't like talking too much, that's fine. You can be, like you say, the quiet one. You're taking it in. When you speak, you will be heard because more than likely you're going to say something that's worth hearing. That's not a problem, right? A lot of people feel that, oh, if you're going to be in a ministry, you have to be a huge talker. Listen, we need a lot of people that are willing to listen. So if you're that person that you're willing to listen, you're a great listener, you will be the right person to minister to somebody that just needs somebody to hear them. And when you have the opportunity to speak, you'll speak what they need to hear in their turn. So be who you are. If you're a talker like Ozzy, talk a storm. That's fine. If you're a jokester like me, joke up a storm. Be who you are. And if you're a listener, then just listen. Be who you are. You won't have any problems. That's so important
But
because
get together, and I want to share something that we have here. It's coming from the Bible. It says in Hebrews 10:25 says, "Not neglecting to meet together, and is the habit of some. We're
mm,
encouraging one another. Not like do not neglect getting together, guys. This is couple opportunities. Can I add something to the support part
yeah.
okay? So listen, guys, when you buy support gear, when you buy and every for the most part all the organization have support gear and your organization has support gear that is available for you for the guys that do not have access to the club just yet. When you buy support gear, there's two things that happen to the full patch and to the members of the club already or the organization. Eh, Hey, we're not gonna buy a CBO with the $2 that we're earning on those t-shirts. For the most part, we're not business people, and we're not, and we're not making a huge amount of money. We're making $2, $3, something like that. We're trying not to lose money. That's what we're trying to do. Not to lose money on the material, not to lose money on that. Those $2, $3, man, and they're gonna go they're gonna go to benefit the club and the organization, so it can keep on running. Um, Mind you, $2 or $3 is not gonna make the difference. What it makes the difference is the validation, and the validation is important for us because it says, man, I care enough for your organization, and that I'm going to support it. I'm going to carry it on my back. I'm going to carry it on. I'm going to wear it. I'm going to wear you guys on. You're going to be part of my clothing. What it does from our side to you, meaning what it means for us, for the full patches towards you, it means that when a full patch comes to you and say, hey man, you should get some support here. When they send you that invitation, don't take it as a he goes, he wants another $40. Hey, we don't get the $40. We get, And by the way, if in your organization you have support gear $40, let them talk to me. I can help them reduce the prices.
Yeah,
But
not for sure.
anyhow, when you buy when we give you an invitation to buy support gear, what we're actually telling you is, hey, this is the only thing that we can give you right now in your status and at your level, but we want for you to have it. This is the only thing that I can give you. I cannot give you a prospect patch. I cannot give you a patch. I cannot give you, but this I like you enough that I want you to have it. I want you to wear it. So that is important, guys, for you guys to understand. You wanna tackle a little more of that?
No, again, right? Listen, man. When you if you're hanging around, and if you like, for example, let's say that you are a person that you you like an organization enough to invest your time, put your money where your mouth is. You're getting something, right? It's a transaction. You're getting a t-shirt. It's not like and we don't ask. We never ask anybody to buy anything. This is, if you like the organization, it should be something that you do self motivated. You should be self motivated to support an organization that you like. For example, my wife, we rescued a dog. Rescued, it sounds like we're heroes. We adopted a dog that loves us very much, and we love that dog. So she sends money to the organization, to the Humane Society, because she believes in the organization. So much so that she gives them money. If you believe in an organization that you're investing your time, spending time going on rides and whatever it is, a church, you're visiting a church, you like how they operate, you like the environment, whatever it is, and you want to buy a t-shirt, that you're supporting the organization because you like the organization. You're getting to know them and you want to be part of it, you want to feel a part of it. That's fine. That's part of it. If you don't feel good enough and it's not in your heart to be a part of that organization enough to spend some money and to
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
sow a seed,
That's
that's
saying,
a
right?
little flag. That's saying
That's saying,
something.
right?
Keep it moving. Again, I'm not saying if you don't put in money there's something wrong with you. No, no, no. Maybe
No, no, no,
that's
no.
an understanding, right? That's the understanding that you should be getting from it. I don't like it enough to buy a shirt. Well, then maybe you don't like it enough to be a part of it, and that's fine.
And
There's no obligation.
it's about investment, right? You don't want to invest your money. You don't want most of it. You don't want to invest your time either. So that should be your. Hey, this is not my home.
This is very important. You just said something. If you don't money, people are so attached to their money. Hey, listen, I understand how hard it is to come by these greenbacks. It's not easy. You got to work for it. But when people are so tied to their money that they don't want to part with a little bit for whatever it is, then that's a telltale sign this ain't where it is. If you feel good enough to say, you know what, I love this man, I'm really digging it, I'm going to pony up 20, 30, 40, whatever it is, that is a good sign, right? Because you're feeling it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And you put your money where you feel good. And that is a good sign. You see it, you like it, I'm going to support it. That's a good sign. If you don't feel good enough to support it, maybe it's not good enough for you to spend your time. And again, I want people to understand it's okay to not feel right about it. That's what this is
That's
about.
the process is about.
That's what we're looking for. You're looking for that place where you feel at home. When you buy your first home, what are the first things you do? You start to put money in. Why? Because this is your home, right? If you buy a place and then you're saying, man, I'm not going to spend money here, get rid of it, sell it, because this ain't the place. This isn't your forever home. This may not even be your for a while home, right? Maybe it was a mistake. So that's just a very that's a bad analogy maybe, but let's keep it moving, brother man.
We got you hard.
Once you start talking about money, it gets rough, man, because a lot of people are gonna be like, man, I ain't talking about money. Money
especially
in church.
especially someone that I call every single day and say, "Hey, man, another day, another 10."
Another 10 cents exactly, but that's before taxes, bro.
Yeah, that's that's gross. Okay, so the other thing that you need to do, man, learn their ways.
Mm,
I gotta tell you, this is Johnny. I know it all. If you're Johnny, I know it all. Please, for the man, that's the guy that just want to smack in the face and say, "Hey, shut up." or let me tell you who is the problem. Who has the guy that was already on a motorcycle organization before. He has tons of ideas. He doesn't have the commitment, but he has a lot of ideas. A lot of ideas. That guy has a lot of ideas, and he's in my organization we did to do like this. And in so when I did this and I did it in this way. And listen, we will love your ideas at some point. At the very beginning, it's not the time for your ideas.
mm,
When you don't have the same rag, when you don't say when you share colors, we don't want your ideas. We want for you to learn our ways.
mm,
So it's a time for you to learn their ways. You're joining them. They're not joining you. Okay, you're trying to join an organization. The organization is not trying to join you. So they don't want to know how you did it or how you think it should be done. They want to know that you're teachable, that you're someone that is, respect the process enough to be teachable. So let me give you an example, typical example, and this is something that we encounter a lot. Um, we have heard the way that we ride, we ride handlebar to handlebar. We are a traditional motorcycle club, and we heard it all. Like we heard people saying, "Oh, that is only for one percenters. We shouldn't ride like that. Why we running like that? I don't agree. That is not Christian like. Like Jesus rode in a certain way. Like Christ knew how to ride motorcycles and he rode a stagger because they knew Jesus from back in the days and Jesus said, no, 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 it's in the Bible. I heard it's not Christian like, it's not Christ like,
Mm.
it's not. I said, are you okay? Like didn't know that, but it's good to know, good information. I heard stuff like, oh, that's not how you introduce yourself, right? So in my club, we introduce ourselves in a certain way, which is for the most part is a regular introduction, right? Oh, I don't agree with that. I'm gonna give them my name. So we're traditional clubs, and so there's a certain aspect of that that we don't, that is tradition for us, right? Something that we used to deal a lot with, and I remember back in the days in the mentorship. Hold on one second. I can do it all, but I don't want to flip burgers. I don't wanna.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No,
That ain't for me. I only cook for my family.
I got my do's and don'ts. I have my do's and don'ts.
That kind of stuff for us is a red flag. For us, it's like, I mean, we're gonna give you one, two, three opportunities to say, and at some point we're gonna say, man, listen, shut up, right? Shut up. So live, be teachable and listen before you speak. That's important. And you mentioned that. You mentioned that somehow you touched that that it is important to listen, right? We're talking
Mm,
about the introvert and the person that listens. It is important for you to listen. This is time for you to listen. This is a time for you to learn. This is not a time for you to do. It's a time for you to learn. I mean, you do when you learn, right? I love the process of mentorship, and I have mentioned this before from your organization because the way that the program is set up is that you see, you learn, then you do. You see, you learn, then you do. It's not you see, learn, you see, learn. No, no, no. You see, you learn, and you do. So this is the season when you see, you learn, right? This is you start seeing and learning. And we're gonna talk about doing later, right? So one of the things that you need to leave behind is that in my last club, that energy you do that is not cutting us for us. Okay. So what do you think about that, brother?
You know what? I think that that's where, this old saying, when in Rome, do as Romans do. If you are, and this is the process where it's an induction, right? You're getting to know them. Get to know them. Don't try to push your ideas. I believe in earning the right to be heard. Earning the right to be heard is so important to understand. Yeah, everybody's opinion is valuable, but everybody's opinions are like belly buttons. Everybody's got them. And we've heard a lot of what is going to be shared, but I like the fact that you say there's a moment for everything, right? And there's a time for you to maybe download your ideas and share, and that's fine. But learn how we do, why we do. If you've got questions, they're all valid. Understanding the why behind the why, I dig it. I like to understand the why. If I don't understand something, I won't question it. I will ask, can you explain what's the idea behind it? What's the idea of why do we always shine boots? What's with the boot shining? What does that mean? Well, we shine boots because the same way Jesus washed feet, we're going to shine boots. It gives us an opportunity to serve. That's why we shine boots. That's awesome. I don't wear boots. I wear sneakers. So I don't feel like I should have to shine boots because that doesn't matter. Clean, whatever, right? But it's important for you to learn how to channel your energy and, maybe be very intentional in trying to learn the ways of whatever group you're trying to
It's so
join,
so
right?
so important what you say.
Um, yeah, because it's very important for you to get out of your own way. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I say be intentional. Listen, you're at a new church. We know that you're coming from some other church. Oh, but my other church, they used to do it this way. Well, you're at another church. If you wanted to keep doing it that way, you're free to stay where you came from. Go back to where you came from. That's not a problem. We do it differently, right? Every organization has their own way of doing it. You mentioned the writing handlebar to handlebar. I don't like it. Well, that's an opportunity to learn something new. Oh, I don't feel comfortable. I don't have the skill set.
The different
You can
situation.
develop it, right? You
Exactly,
develop it.
exactly.
Then and be honest about it. But you know what? It's not what you say; it's how you say it, right? If you have a concern, you can voice a concern, but you don't. It's different to voice a concern, and it's very voicing a concern is one thing. Presenting an objection is another. Oh, I don't want to do that because I don't know. Well, wait a minute. I don't feel comfortable. I don't know. Is there an opportunity to learn? How can I learn? Will you guys take the time? Is there a, those are all valid questions, but be intentional about presenting a concern or presenting an objection.
So
I don't like doing this. I don't like doing that. I understand what you like to do and what you have to do or what is expected of you are two different things. Will you be willing to subdue your own will, not to do what somebody else wants to do because they say so, but because that is how we do? We serve. Like, for example, in my ministry, we love on our brothers and sisters, our fellow bikers. That's what we do, that's who we are. We are here to serve. Jesus came to serve. We come to serve. So if you are too fill the blank to
mhm.
serve, well, this ain't for you. And that's fine. This is the opportunity. I love that you mentioned how we do our process, right? Our process is I'm going to show you how we do what we do. You're going to see, you're going to observe, and then we're going to do it together, right? To make sure that you're digging it, that this is for you. If at any point in the process it's too much of it, then this is where we say, I love you. And if you can't come to terms with it, that's fine. That's okay, because just like not all organizations are for everyone, maybe this ministry isn't for you. Maybe your club isn't for them. Maybe the job man, I don't like the way, I have to perform my duties. Well, then this ain't for you. Go get a paycheck somewhere else where you can feel however good wherever else.
And
It's
that's
all
completely okay. That's completely okay.
no,
That the
this
process
is
is designed for that.
that's what we're talking about. This is how we find out, and this is why it's kind of like I found a new home, I've found the new place, I found my next. What goes on now? Now it is either I adapt or maybe I didn't find my new next. Maybe I stumbled upon something that seemed like my new next. It had the potential, but it didn't work out. That's not a problem, because like you were mentioning, you hang around, you prospect or you mentor. Once that those processes are there for a reason. It's not to just keep people out, it's to make sure that the right people get in.
Absolutely.
So make sure that you're maximizing the opportunities. And
This
and
is
again, yeah, go ahead.
this is beautiful, and you mentioned a couple of things that are really great, and I wanna clarify or expand on what you mentioned. Listen, you're learning their way, so you need to respect their history, the culture, the leadership. For
Yeah.
instance, in my organization, for the most part, everybody writes with cowboy boots or boots. Man, I don't like them, or actually, I like them now, but I always I always reading in Vans, and that's my go-to. That's my riding shoes, and sneakers were my riding shoes. When I get to the organization, I have to change that. There's a difference between criticism, concerns, objection, and a question, right? So we want to hear your concerns, and we want to hear your questions. And I believe that's important because you were extremely clear that it is okay to ask questions. the worst that can happen is that a full patch can tell you, hey man, this is club business. I don't feel comfortable answering this because it's private information. And that's okay. Be okay with that. That means that whenever you're a patch member,
Mhm,
they are going to respect you the same way.
mhm, mhm,
The other stuff that they can say
mhm,
is something like, hey, this line of questioning is not okay. This is not something that that is the other answer. This is not okay. Normally, when somebody has to tell you that, and you are not aware of your surroundings, or you you are not you have some social you have to sharpen your social skills a little bit, and but that's okay. But ask questions. I'm so happy that you mentioned that the audience is not gonna go out thinking that they just need to learn, but we have asking questions. It is okay. You have a concern, ask a question. And I can tell you, and why black and gray? In my case, why the colors are like that? Why you guys have to go to San Antonio? Why you guys riding that way? Why do I have to introduce myself? But do it not with the intention of being an objection. I'm so glad that you mentioned that word. And that was so spot on. It's not an objection, Abner. Is honestly, it's genuine concern. It's a genuine question, right? So what makes it, criticism is different. Criticism and objection are different. There's ill intention. There is, I don't want to do this. I don't want to conform to this. I want to do something different, right? So, we read in Proverbs 1:5, and if you guys allow me, I'm just gonna read from Proverbs. It says, "Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understand obtain guidance." So the ones that understand obtain guidance. I understand and I obtain guidance because I'm listening and increasing my learning. And if you want to form part of this organization, bro, the last thing that you want to do is just join a Christian motorcycle organizations and find out that the skulls actually means that everybody's gonna die and nobody's making it to heaven. And now that doesn't align with your belief. Is that what you believe? Well, let me know. I'll be praying for you in the comments. But something that, or they align with, I don't know, dude, whatever. They don't allow weapons. They don't allow guns. They don't believe in guns or anything like that. And you're a super Second Amendment supporter, and now that doesn't align with you, or you never ask the question, right?
Yeah.
People come to me and ask the question, right? Like, can I carry? I'll say, yeah, you can carry. You just cannot go into clubhouse with your gun. You have to leave it behind. But that kind of question has been asked, right? So that's super important. What you mentioned there, super important.
I love that verse because it describes the order of how things should go, which is let the wise hear and increase in learning. And then the one who understands, for you to, so this is the hear, kind of learn.
Hmm.
Now you understand. Now you can gain and obtain guidance by perhaps making the correct questions and the correct time with the correct with the correct intention. And I'm gonna talk about the next verse, which is Philippians 2, verse 3. It says, "Do nothing from a selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves." So if you feel that you know it all, and I'm going to educate these guys because they seem to not know one, they don't know, they be very mindful that you're not being too self-centered and too into your feelings, that I understand and I know everything because I was in this other organization. I've come from, I've been doing church for all my life, so I know how churches work. No, you know how your past churches work. This is a new thing, a new place. Don't be that guy that just wants to run over everybody knowing because you feel that you know. That's that humility, right?
Yes, absolutely, and but that's important, Abner, because we're talking to Christian people or non-Christian people, whatever the case, dude. Nobody wants a jerk that is prideful and that is full of pride, and nobody wants that guy. Nobody, I don't want that guy in my organization. You don't want that guy in your organization. I don't even want it next to me. I don't want it in my church. And there are a lot of people that come with that mentality and that attitude that, bro, let me teach you. I know you are the full patch, but I should be the president. And that is the kind of people that we do not want. We don't need them, that kind of people in our organization. That's for sure. So I'm so happy that we're just putting these things in here. So let's move on to the next one. That cool?
Yeah.
Oh, we've been talking
This
about
is
this one
this
for a lot.
this is the no, well, because it's really important, but now we're gonna graduate to the real important next
Which
big thing, which
was
is the meat and potatoes of what we're doing here.
so
What is it?
you've been learning how they do stuff, right? So you like how the guy move this and that. Um, do not expect, don't wait for your status. Oh, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be that. Uh, for you to start doing this next thing, which is serve the table. Everybody eats, but someone's gotta set the table. It's pretty simple. Serve the table. You don't have to be a prospect. You don't have to be a full patch. As a friend of, as a hang around, that is what God's actually. Jesus said, "The one that wants to be first has to be last." And the one,
Yeah.
if you want to be my disciple, you're gonna have to serve others. So that's how it is. So I remember we were at an event, and you have some guys questioning, about your organization, and I didn't straight up, man. I told you, man, this is your organization. This is your ministry. I don't like this guy. I don't like that guy because they're here. Oh, I want to support you, but they're not serving in no way, shape, or form. The only one that grilling is you. I don't like that, bro. Like I like people serving. I like people moving. I like people. You have to find your spirit, your spot, and your gift. Man, if you're good with social media, raise your hand, dude. Say, hey, man, listen, I'm good. I notice, guys, that we can use some help. It's different that, bro, your social media sucks. Hey, we can use some help so we can help promote this and that. We can help promote the ministry. Can I help out with social media? I don't have to post, but I can create some images, this and that. That is serving the table. Hey, man, you know what? I am not the best. I'm not the best writing or I'm not the best cooking. I'm gonna burn all the burgers, but I can do this for you. I'm gonna find the bread. I'm gonna get, given the case that we're flipping burgers. Hey, dude, I cannot do this. I cannot do that, but I'll pick up. I cannot go on a motorcycle, but I volunteer to pick up water. This kind of stuff. That is serving the table. Serving the table is finding your spot, finding your gift. If your gift is talking to people, if your gift is praying, dude, be the one to praise, bro. Find your spot, offer it. Don't wait to be asked. I remember, and I'm gonna shout out my brother Phoenix, dude. First ride with this guy, open road with this guy, open room with this guy, and it was really weird. And I'm getting up to go to the bathroom. We'll never let a brother out of sight. More importantly, the president. You don't ever let the president out of sight. And my VP stood up and said, "Hey man, say guys, I'm going to the bathroom." I stood up to go to the bathroom too, and this guy stood up and said, "Hey, President, you allow me, I can do. I want to. I mean, he came from our organization. He knew the protocol. But it's like, hey, President, can I go with you?" I said, "That's weird. Don't do that. That's weird. That's I don't. Nothing's gonna happen." It's but I said, "No, no. I'll stay. I'll stay outside." And he went. BP wouldn't let him do that, but both of them went in there, and he was and they're waiting, man. And he served the table since day one. So this is the kind of people that we really need. What is serving the table for you, Amner? How do you see this?
I mean, that's awkward, bro. I'm not going to the bathroom with you guys. So anyways, listen, this is so important because I
The
love the
thing is that
idea.
if somebody kidnaps you for any reason, they'll return you like 10 minutes and say, with money, say, hey, keep him,
Exactly. No, no, this
keep
guy
him.
needs to get checked out. He needs to get a checkup from the neck up. Listen, so when we talk about serving, um, I understand, and you mentioned something, right, about finding your spot. Yes, of course, your gift. That's important. You play to your strengths. But understand that you are joining an organization. There's going to be a certain level of expectation in you being able to work, to be able to be a part of what's going on. Find your spot, play to your gifts, but you mentioned something. I don't know, I feel comfortable. I'm a good talker. I'm very good at this. I'm very good at that. That's all good. I would say in your effort to serve, don't be afraid to get uncomfortable. I'm not saying be awkward. No,
Come
to get
on, come on.
uncomfortable in expanding and getting out of your comfort zone. Because yeah, I would love to say I don't really know how to shine boots, so I'm gonna just be talking to people. Nah, you know what? Be that guy that says, you know what? I don't know how to, but I would love to learn. Can you teach me?
Come on.
That is going to help you. It'll help you grow as a person. It'll help you show everybody in the organization that you're not above doing something, maybe not perfectly, in an effort to learn and practice. If you know that you have to, you're grilling or you're doing service, and well, then put in the work outside and try to make it work, to be there. Show initiative. I really
God, come on.
dislike
You're about
with
to
a
say hate.
passion. I'm not gonna say hate because I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to do better.
But you hate.
But I dislike with a passion. I dislike with a passion when people tell me, "Well, I didn't do anything because nobody told me. I wasn't told."
Which is what you're saying.
Listen, if you need to be told what to do, then there's a problem. It may be a heart issue, not a knowledge issue.
It's
Because
not a motorcycle organization problem.
no, 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 no,
It's a
no.
it's a
This has
it's this
nothing to
you
do.
walk with
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah, this is a problem, but that's why I say it's a heart issue.
Mhm.
It's not a I don't know issue. This is just because it's not in your heart, it's not in your spirit to
To
be
be a servant.
a servant. Because if you need to be told what to do, again, if you need to be taught how, that's fine. But if you need to be told what to do, then maybe this, be it a church, be it a motorcycle ministry, be it a club, whatever it is, maybe this isn't for you, because this is a heart. It's a deep inside you. I want to do something. I want to. You have to have the initiative. So listen, we always equate the following, and I'll share this. We believe that Jesus came with a plan, and he stripped himself. God bankrupted heaven so that his son could come to the earth and serve, right? He didn't come to be served. That's in the Bible. I didn't come here to be served. I came here to serve. That was Jesus. So how are you going to tell me that you're not willing, you're not able, that's all a problem with
With your heart.
the idea of what you're doing here.
Let me
You
remark 10, 44, 45. Before you continue
go
saying,
for it, brother man. Go for it.
whoever will be first among you must be a slave for all. For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve.
Amen.
Yeah, I mean, you can fight with Abner, but you cannot fight with the Bible, guys.
Exactly. Exactly. You can disagree with me and you can disagree with the Bible. That's fine, man. You can do whatever you want, right? But the word is the word, and that's the truth. Now, having said that, listen, find your spot, use your gifts. Hey, listen, you have a gift, be true to that. It'll come natural. And praise God, because that is how you will do your best work when it's comfortable. But again, don't be afraid to step out and to say, you know what, I'm not as good in this aspect, but I would sure like to learn. If you would teach me, I'll learn. Help others. Don't chase the spotlight. Listen, everybody thinks, or maybe not everybody, a lot of people think that they are leaders, think that they have what it takes to take charge, to be in the spotlight. And listen, I'm all for it, but don't chase it. Be available and be there and help whoever is there in the process. If you have a P that is struggling, serve. If you have a pastor, an associate pastor, a group leader at church, and you see an opportunity to help them, don't criticize them. Don't talk to the people around you talking about, man, it would be so much better if he did this. Well, just help him and do it for him. Show up.
I don't know if you know this, Abner, but in our church, in the leadership of our church, we call it staying liquid. Uh,
Yeah.
because staying liquid, you're flexible. You can be boiled. You can be put. You can be get frozen. You can be it gets, but the most important thing is that you're filling the gaps. Liquid fills the gaps. So our pastors always say, "Hey, stay liquid, stay liquid." We're gonna be serving here, man.
No,
We're just putting together a class. Something that is gonna happen this weekend, dude, and something that I don't have to do, and something that stay liquid. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, why? I'm not comfortable, but I'm gonna do it.
they stole that from Bruce Lee. He has there's a reel, a very interesting reel. He says, "Be like water," and definitely be liquid. I love it. Be that guy. Be that guy. Be that guy that is always available to help. If you do that, when you have that heart of service and the initiative, you will be in a prime position to really see the organization for what it is, whichever one it is. Fill the blank. If you are there to serve. And this is where you will really get the confirmation. You will understand this is for me.
Yep.
If you're serving, because that is what we're here to do. If you're here just for the writing, but I don't want to have to do with the politics. I'm here for the writing. I don't want to have to deal with the service. I'm here for the Sunday service. I don't need to connect with anybody. Then maybe this isn't your place to be. Let's keep it moving, brother.
Let's go back, man. So listen, serving the table creates something important, creates trust. And the last thing that we're going to be mentioning here with this, we're going to be kind of like bringing this bird for a landing. Build trust over time, dude. Trust is not something that happens instantly, and most definitely when you're writing, when you're serving the people, you create trust. At the very beginning, you're gonna have some brothers that are not gonna trust you, and it's not that they don't like you, is they don't know if they can trust you. They know what has taken to build that organization, and they're not just going to open doors willingly just like that, man. So be patient. Do not take offense. Don't take it personally. Don't take like, oh my God, oh, this guy doesn't like me, man. Your actions show them who you are. So if you're showing up, you're supporting, if you're learning their ways and you're serving the table, that trust is going to be built in no time. And you have to be okay with that. There's something that is not going to happen instantly. Actually, if it happens instantly, this is people who have discernment. So if they instantly say, "Hey, come here, let me give you a patch, let me give you this, that, kiss on my hand," these people will have discernment. Walk away from that, and because you don't want to be with people without discernment. But if they take their time, and that is the right organization, maybe the right organization is they take some, you know, I can tell you, I have some stuff that are mine personally, but if you don't show up on two wheels, you don't ride that kind of stuff. For me, I kind of don't trust you because I know that the day that and if you're giving me excuses right now where you're trying to join us in this phase, I'm sure you're gonna be full of excuses when you're full patch. You're gonna feel entitled to more excuses and not to start the table. So build it over time. Don't. There's no such thing like instant trust. That doesn't happen. You might like a person instantly, right? There are people trying to join our organization right now that I like them instantly, and it was kind of like a click. Some others took me some time to get to understand it, right? But that doesn't mean that I trust them instantly. That means that I like you. That's it. But it doesn't mean that I trust you. And that there is a lot of water needs to come that needs to pass under the bridge for me to trust someone like that. Something that has taken us a while to build. And what do you say about that, buddy?
Listen, man, you know what? It's important. I think that we started right just before this building trust was serving. So I see it, and I love movies. I love series. If you have watched Band of Brothers, you will understand this principle. Those guys were in the foxhole. They were in the toughest battles in World War II. It was bananas. Watch it if you haven't watched it. Band of Brothers. It was an HBO series. Phenomenal. That is what serving is. Serving is being in a foxhole. Serving is going on rides together, long distance rides. That is serving each other, right? Because when you're on the road together, you're forging that bond. When you're serving together, you're forging a bond. You have each other's backs. That is how you build trust, right? So, of course, it takes time, and it takes work. And that is why you need to be patient, because it's not overnight, like you said. The other thing is the following: when you're serving, when you're doing, there's going to be difference of opinions. There's going to be conflict. There's going to be moments where you're disagreeing, and there's going to be some sparks, right? Don't take offense. Don't own that offense. It wasn't on purpose. It's just in the heat of battle. And don't be fooled. In ministry, we are constantly battling the enemy of our souls, right? We are out there trying to advance the kingdom of heaven. In church, we are trying to advance the kingdom of heaven. We are battling. And this is for those people that go to church, the believers, right, that are watching this. Understand there will always be no shortage of opportunities for misunderstandings and for offense. Now, mind you, offense doesn't mean that they meant to do it. Nah, they might offend you by a misunderstanding, but it wasn't meant to be an offense, but you get offended. Don't own it. Don't hang on to that offense like it's your lifesaver on the Titanic, because that's only going to do you damage. Talk it out. Talk about it. Hey, listen, man, you know what? You kind of said something. I felt a certain kind of way. Oh, man, you know what? I didn't mean it, brother. I didn't. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I didn't mean to offend you. That should be the end of it, right? That should be the end of it. It shouldn't be, I'll forget, I'll forgive, I won't forget, I'll keep it in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna put it over here, because the next time you do this, we're gonna have words. That is not genuine. But let's be honest, it's going to happen. But the more you serve, the more time you put in with your brothers, the easier it will be to see and to understand the heart, the spirit, and say, bro, listen, man, I understand that this wasn't, we got heated, we got passionate. Let's not worry about it. Let's not even talk about it. Nothing happened. Let's move on. I love the fact that you say, let your walk speak louder than your words. If you are genuine, you won't have to go into all this. What had happened was, no, because they're going to know. The Bible says that you will be known by your fruits.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you are genuine, people will know when this is out of character. This is probably not what he meant to do. He meant to say, there might be something else. And that is based on that trust, because they know who you are. And again, just so that we can bring this into a landing, because we're going over the hour almost. And I know that the editing process will probably shape this one way or another. Just understand, there's no substitution for putting in the work and letting time do its work. If you think that this is going to be a
Not a
microwave
shortcut for that.
solution,
Yeah,
there's no
exactly.
shortcuts. There's no shortcuts for
There's no
building.
shortcut for that.
There's no shortcuts for serving. This is all putting in time, putting in quality time, being present. Leave the phone alone. Spend your time. Be genuine. And then, now that you've found your home, you know what to do. Put in the work.
But they
And the
work.
work never ends. I'm just going to say that. The work never ends. I've been here for 10 years. The work never ends. I've been here for 15 years. The work never ends. Do you know when the work ends? When you're in the box.
Yeah, when you're returning your colors, you're no longer part of that organization. That's what I said to my guys, and I try to repeat this all the time, that having the patch is just earning the right to serve the table that day. That's it. So having your patches every single day is just that. But buddy, listen, this one, I hope we're helping someone with this one. I hope if people understand a little bit more of this process. We tried really hard to break it down into, because that's who we are. We're faith people. We're faith driven people. We're Christians. We try to frame it up into a Christian worldview, if you will, right? So this is a Christian framework of
POV.
operation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this standard operation procedure comes to you. Jesus Christ. It's not my idea. It's not Abner's idea. That's how we operate in our organizations. And most organizations have as some sort of this in our organizations. We wanted to give you these principles because not only this is what clubs and motorcycle ministries and riding organizations are expecting of you to a certain degree and some level, but because this is what actually God is expecting of you. And to
Amen.
be honest with you, so this has nothing to do with that. So guys, show up, learn their ways, serve the table, and be patient with the trust that you're gonna. And that was it for today. Thank you for joining, guys. Like, subscribe. Let us know how you're liking this.
And if you have your own ideas, share it. Put it out
Yeah,
there
please
in the
do
comments.
so. Please do so. That's pretty important.
We'd love to
So
hear it.
thank you, guys.
Be blessed. We love you. Peace out.